In this video, I want to talk about the tarot card Temperance. To understand the true meaning behind the big ARCANA, you need to have a key. Of course, you can do it on your own intuitively and by studying, etc. But to speed things up, a key about the threefold nature of existence is needed, is necessary. I already have explained how this functions in another video called the threefold nature of existence. You can go and find it on my channel, but to make it short, it's about spirit, which is your thoughts in your experience, psychic or astral, which is your emotions, and the apparently manifested physical interaction, not interaction, like existence that you perceive with the senses. So each card has a different name in each plane, a different name in the thought plane, a different name in the psychic, and a different name in the manifested universe. The general word is temperance, but in spirit is deduction. What do we mean by deduction? In the plane of the spirit, it means that it's about the macrocosm and the microcosm, or analogy, how you conclude things by analogy. Because one thing is big and it functions one way, then the smaller things should be accordingly act in an analogous way. For example, you may hear a stone falling in the water. Also, the card of Temperance is the Scorpio sign, which is a water, of course, sign. And let's say that you hear a stone, you see a ripple. You don't know what is the object that has fell in the water, but you do see the ripple. Therefore, you assume that something dropped in the water. That is deduction. You don't know, of course, if it is a rock, if it is a bike, if it is whatever, a TV, so some object, a bird, an animal, whatever, it has something is there and it causes ripples. You conclude this, you deduct this by analogy. You see the microcosm and you assume a macrocosm. So that is the name of the card Temperance in the plane of the spirit. Why is that? Why the law of analogy? Why the macrocosm and microcosm? One is because, as you know, you see in the picture, there are two chalices representing the microcosm and the macrocosm. The higher flows to the lower, and there is a mixing. The second name of the card in the psychic, in the astral, is Harmonia Mixtorium, which means a harmony of mixed elements. What do we mean by that? Because there are two apparently opposite things, the higher and the lower, the third, which is the psychic, appears. And to have harmony, you need to not avoid the opposite. The moment you try to avoid the opposite and to not mix, you resist some of the elements, harmony becomes an impossibility. So for example, if in the realm of the astral you are using your intuition, but you are not harmonious, you don't have a spiritual harmony, then you don't trust that. You need to have a balanced polar opposites, a feminine and a masculine. That's why, as you see in the card, one foot is on the water and the other is on the earth, because that represents intuition. The angel, which is the spirit, is mixing, is balancing your opposites, your feminine and masculine. So therefore you have harmony, and therefore you can trust your intuition, which is the astral element. Otherwise you could be misguided by various unseen parameters. Now, of course, in the manifested is the reversibility, which is just how you can change processes. This is the way that you need to be balanced and be guided by, follow your intuition and guided by the angel. Now, that's very important to be able to recognize different aspects of the card from the higher to the more manifested universe, because it has many meanings and it can help you practically. There are also other correspondences. For example, it's the 14th card of the big arcanum, so you have the number, split it up. If you split it up by, for example, by numbers like 1 and 13, 13 and 1, 2 and 12, the correspondences gives you hints and keys and different other occult interpretations that could be helpful. For example, I will give one example or two or three. If 2 plus 12, which is our card, it's 2, which is the divine substance, with the conception of the incarnate word, that's 12, or the logos, gives the key of faith in a priori judgments. That is, if something non-physical can incarnate, can be manifested in the dance, why not operate mentally in order to anticipate and guess other physical facts? That's the example I gave you before. You can guess and assume things because you know that it's manifested apparent phenomena has a subtle cause, an invisible cause. Also, polarity in man, that's again the number 2, and the loss of charity, that's the number 12, brings harmony, that's the number 14. That's it. That you can, if you know what its number represents, you can have a lot of deductions, a lot of conclusions, and a lot of contemplations over the card and get many insights, not just many, accurate insights. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.